3-year-old woman who passed out at a Starbucks from hypoglycemia. Now, it's normal, right? Then her blood came back showing insulin with a high C-peptide count.
So she gave herself too much insulin?
Right, but here's the thing. She is not diabetic.
Wait a minute. She somehow got her hands on insulin, then injected it into herself? Why would she do that?
I don't know. That's why I called you.
Okay, I'll try to find out.
All right, cool. Thank you. Oh, actually, okay, so you know how I've been hounding you about getting a drink one night after work?
I'm familiar with it, yes.
Okay, well, I promise it's all gonna stop right after you get a drink with me tonight.
Oh, come on. Noah, couldn't we just stick to being colleagues?
Sure. A drink is colleagues.
Okay.
Guys, so excited to have Roland Buck III here. Talk Chicago Med, talk Long Road Home. Let's kick off with Chicago Med, man, because we saw that clip. I mean, what's it feel like to be going into your 3rd season? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a blessing. It went by so quick. I remember getting the job 2 years ago in November, and now it's like the 3rd season. It's just like boom, 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 but it's great.
That's a rolling amount. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
What's it like working for Dick Wolf, man? The guy's a legend.
Yeah, it's awesome to get that stamp, that cosign, say, you know, we love what you do, keep doing it, be a part of the Chicago family. I'm originally from Chicago, so it's just great to my first network job to take me back home. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the audition process and what it was like to get Noah?
Yeah, so I got a self-tape audition from my manager. I put myself on tape, and literally...
Where were you? Were you at home? We get some friends there to do it for you?
Yeah, so I usually, one of my homies I went to school with, Alex Deal, we went to USC together. We did all our self-tapes together, and I got this audition, and I was like, man, okay, this is my first NBC audition. I gotta get it. Because I used to intern for NBC. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, in the talent and casting department. So this was my...
I'll be back, guys.
Yeah. You're gonna see me again. And they did, so... So yeah, I got the audition, and it was like 3 heavy scenes. I did it, and I was like, okay, I feel good about it. Sent it in to my manager and my agent, and they loved it. They sent it through the pipeline. And I thought it was gonna be a longer process. They hit me up that Monday and said, you're pinned for it. And I'm like, okay, what's pinned mean? You they gonna poke me with something? Like, no, they like you, and they wanna pass your audition down the line of execs to see if we have approval. And I got the role just off of a self-tape audition. So yeah, it changed everything.
That's amazing. Round of applause. That's a great story, man.
Yeah.
Tell me about first reading the first script and what that was like.
Yeah, well, like the first episode that I was in, I think it was episode 5 of season 1. It was an intro to my character, and it was a big Noah story. So basically, April, Yaya DaCosta's introducing me to the hospital. I'm a medical student, 3rd year, and just to like show me the ropes. And it's like a full day of me just like dropping the ball, basically. I'm just like, do this.
All clumsy and yeah.
I'm like, GSW, that means, oh, gunshot wound. Okay. And just dropping the ball, basically, and, taking someone else's credit for Sarah Reese's credit, lab reports. So just basically me dropping the ball, setting up conflict for me to have some kind of redemption. But it was a heavy episode, and I thought all the episodes was gonna be like that. That was my first one, but I learned that some episodes are lighter for a character, some episodes are heavier. So getting the heavy one first really gave me some strength.
with a huge ensemble cast too. That's why this all sort of a shared lift there. I mean, what was it like meeting everybody and sort of stepping into the character and getting to meet people that way? Yeah,
it was really cool because everybody was really welcoming and really nice. Yaya is like my on-air sister, but like my real sister too. I have 4 sisters, and they're just like her. She made me feel welcome and made me feel comfortable to like explore and discover and fall if I do, but she helped pick me back up. Actors have each other's back on camera, and she did. So it helped me just to get up there and do what I do. Everybody's a really close-knit family, and I've heard it's not like that all the time. I haven't had any experience yet on set that it wasn't like that with the Long Road Home and the other stuff that I've done. It's been like a real close-knit family, so I've just been lucky for that. Yeah.
Now, did you feel like your character on that first episode was kind of paralleling how you felt because you didn't really know the terms, just yet? I mean, what kind of research did they throw you into for there?
Yeah, I mean, we have a medical advisor on set. Bobbin, she's awesome. She saves me all the time to make sure we're doing everything right, because we want to do justice to the medical field, everybody that's watching. But yeah, it's easy for me not to know what I'm doing because I didn't know what I was doing. So it's like easy to play nervous and all this because I am nervous. I didn't have to act. But now that I'm a doctor in this third season, I graduated from med school.
Congratulations on your character doctorship.
You know, the easiest degree I ever got in my life. Thank you.
MD, man,
Yeah.
MD.
I can tell you what you should do, but I can't do it. But yeah, so now I'm doing actual surgeries. Now I'm saying a lot of the terms, which is kind of, it's hard when you've never said a word in your life. You never said that word ever for the first time. You're saying it on camera. And you gotta get all the coverage, and you gotta do it right over and over again. Plus, you have to have the movements right with the surgeries and everything like that. It's challenging, but it's a type of job that I won't ever feel comfortable with, so that means I'm growing. And as an actor, I want to be able to grow every day, and that's definitely a job that I'm not gonna get lazy with, because you can't. Yeah.
Were there any terms that you had particular trouble with? I mean, there's a lot of walk and talks, that sort of thing, where you're sort of keeping it going.
I think even that scene that we just saw, hypoglycemia.
Doesn't roll off the tongue. You know, people might be like out there, like, I can do that,
Yeah.
but you got cameras pointed at you. You got everyone looking at you.
And you see how I did it well just now, but I couldn't do it. That's because I did it a million times right there. But like hypoglycemia and just, walking, talking, you know, looking at the iPad, I'm looking at my charts and just keeping everything in mind with the movement and where I want to go in the scene and stuff like that. Yeah, it was hard. I think hypoglycemia did catch me a couple of times. But everybody knows that everybody gets caught a few times, but
it's a pretty understanding set, you're saying. Yeah, exactly. You guys are throwing a lot of terms around. Is there any things that you've kept around for a long time, you know, season one, that you still think about, some sort of a medical emergency that kind of like stays in your mind?
Yeah, I think season 2, there was one story that was definitely a Noah redemption story, kind of, because I was always messing up before then. It was like, dang, can the brother win?
Like, Noah,
sometimes?
come on, man.
Yeah. Come on, Noah. But yeah, it was a Chicago Marathon, and a guy got ran over, and me and April, we were the only ones on site to help. So basically, I'm still a med school student, but I'm like, you know, he needs a chest tube, you know, and I do a chest tube in the field. We had medical rehearsal for that and everything, but that was one in particular because it was a hot day in Chicago. We did that over and over again. We had like 300 extras. Bees were everywhere because, little you know,
They don't teach you that in school.
yeah, they don't teach you how to swat a bee while having a scalpel in your hand, you know. But like the blood is it's got a high sugar base, basically, and the bees can smell it.
Fake blood.
Fake blood. Fake blood. Either you'd have diabetes if you have a high sugar base in your blood. But so like, and I'm scared of bees. I got stung
I
up.
feel like most sane people are scared of bees.
Yeah, I got stung up when I was a kid, so it's still that trauma in the back of my head, like run, but you can't run in the middle of a take. So yeah, that definitely, and it was a good episode for me because I didn't mess up this time. I put the chest tube in, he survived, and all because I took initiative. So yeah.
Absolutely. Now, we saw the premiere. It just happened now, and obviously people are looking forward to the rest of the season. I mean, we see you chasing a little romance there, you know. Tell me what we got coming up for Noah, what he's got coming up.
Yeah, so Noah doesn't give up. He doesn't. He's very fond of Sarah. He knows that. I think he knows that. You know, it's not a regular wine and dine thing. It's something special about her, something interesting about her that he has to come correct. He has to come the right way. He might have to wear it down a little bit. So you'll see me continue to try, just like in that hypoglycemia scene right there. I'm a doctor now, so I'm doing surgeries on my own. I'm diagnosing patients. So now it's a lot more risk because there's lives at stake. You'll see that. Also, the dynamic between me and my sister. So now I'm a doctor. She's my nurse. It's a shift of power a little bit. And can that power be given up a little bit? Can you respect me? Can I respect you? The boundaries of working together. She's dating Dr. Choi now.
This is a very helpful poster to have here.
Yeah.
All the characters.
Boom. She's dating Dr. Choi, so you know that whole thing. He's my chief, my boss. So it's good. It's a lot of good conflict. It's going. It's high octane for sure.
What's it like to get those scripts? I mean, obviously they're pulling a couple things from the headlines. They're taking a little
Yeah.
notice of what's going on. I mean, what's it like to get the scripts and see the commentary there?
Yeah, I think that's one of the coolest parts is because we don't shoot the season beforehand. We're shooting right now. We shoot as we go, so we get to do a lot of the current events and stuff like that. And really, like, I'm learning while we're doing it. So it's definitely it's like right now. You know what I mean? So people can relate. It's cool. I don't think too many shows do that.
Do you guys get to hang out in Chicago? What's it like hanging out with a Dick Wolf crew out there?
Yeah, I mean, I hang out with Yaya a lot, Nick, Gelfish. They have like watch parties and stuff like that. But since I'm recurring, I'm back and forth. Sometimes I miss them. But the whole family, the One Chicago family, is pretty cool. Like we get together for birthdays and stuff like that. Go golfing or whatever, and it's cool. Like everybody just loves and supports each other. It's gonna be sad when I don't get to experience that.
Well,
I hope
hopefully
it's
that
always
doesn't
like
happen.
that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hopefully that
yeah.
doesn't happen.
Right.
What's it like? Do you wear your scrubs off set? Do people think you're a doctor? Are they, come on, Noah, help me out with this?
Yeah, that's one of the great perks is because in the long road home I'm a soldier, so I had to put on all that gear every day, and I was just dreaming like, when can I put on the scrubs again?
They look comfortable. They look very comfortable.
These pajamas, I miss you. I miss air conditioning, you know, like all that stuff. But yeah, I don't wear the scrubs because they would probably really think I'm a doctor. Nobody's really asked me if I was a doctor yet. They just, most of the time, they come up to me thinking that we went to high school or something together. Like, I know.
Recognize you from somewhere.
Yeah, your face, I know you from somewhere. And they always say, like, a different show than what I'm on. Or like, we went to high school together. And then I tell them, and they're like, oh, man. And it's a lot of times it's guys, too, which you wouldn't expect. And they be like, man, my sister loves you. My wife loves you.
The girlfriend, wife,
Yeah.
not me, not
Yeah,
me.
not me. I'm like, do you love me, though? It's okay. You can love me, too. But, you know, it's cool people appreciating your work. You know, that's the main thing. It's kind of different being recognized. But I do appreciate people liking my work because I put a lot into it, and it took a long time to get to this point. So, yeah.
You mentioned The Long Road Home. I mean, that's a powerful story, you know, based on the book by Martha Raddatz. I think we have a clip. We're going to show that, and then we'll discuss that show.
Okay.
We clear? Everyone good?
Yeah, guys, I'm wet. I'm wet.
Bad news, homie. You either pissed your pants or your canteen didn't make it.
I told you we'd be fine.
You just saved our lives, Sergeant.
We ain't out of nothing yet. Let's move!
I mean, that looks like a tense set, obviously. I mean, that's a powerful story, based on true events. I mean,
Right.
what was it like taking on that character?
Yeah, that was it was intense. It was something I've never done. We went through training for that, boot camp.
A couple of the real guys, right?
Yeah, and you know how to hold a rifle, how to clear rooms, the chain of command. Just putting ourselves in this situation because it's a true story and you want to do it justice. You know, you definitely don't want to half anything with that. They built Sadr City, Iraq, in Fort Hood, Texas. So it was like 100 buildings. All the stuff that you see is built. You know, so basically it was easy for me to act because I didn't have to act. All I had to do was react because it was intense. My character, Specialist Rafael Martin, he's a mixture of two guys, but he basically represents all of the Alpha Company, and he is an ex-gang member who had a choice to either go to the military or go to jail. So to turn his life around, he went to the military, and now he finds himself fighting for his life on foreign soil. He was fighting for his life on the streets, and now he seems like he can't escape it, basically. And he gets close with Noel Fisher's character, who he plays Thomas Young. So they're like complete opposites, and they ended up, you know, finding some common ground together in this high stress workplace, because that's her job. It's crazy. But yeah, it was tough. It was we had like a whole month of night shoots, you know, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. It wasn't
Lights going everywhere. Yeah, the gear on.
Yeah, the gear. We were shooting the rifles. These are real rifles with blanks. Yeah, everything exploding. It's like I had to snap. I had to like remind myself, man, I'm in like an action movie right now.
There's a camera over there.
This is a camera over there, but I am scared. But I guess that's good.
I mean, were there any tidbits that the actual people gave you to sort of inform the character?
Yeah, well, I guess I kind of got a little lucky because mine is off of two guys. They couldn't locate these men, not from the actual event, but just now, present day. So that's why they merged two of my guys together to represent most of the Alpha company. So I got a little more freedom with picking and choosing how I wanted to represent them. The other guys, not so much because they were actually talking to them. But I think, one of the best compliments that I got after the Fort Hood premiere, when we went to Texas to premiere it for the soldiers, one of the soldiers came up and asked me, they were like, hey, so you have a military background? I was like, nah. He was like, nobody in your family? I'm like, yeah, I have some cousins that's in the military, but I didn't grow up with them. He's like, man, I would have thought you were in the military or something because you got it spot on with the banter, everything, And I was like, man, thank you so much. That is the best compliment I could have ever gotten from him because it is a heavy thing to know that you're representing these people. Like, they will look at me, they're gonna look at my face to represent this real person. So that person has to watch and know that I'm representing them well. It means all the world. Yeah.
I mean, what was it like, the weapons training? Had you picked up a rifle before? I mean, did they throw you right into it?
Yeah, no, I never picked up a rifle. I've shot a gun before, at a gun range and stuff, but I've never picked up a rifle. Yeah, they kind of just, we had Army Rangers there teaching us everything.
Michael Baumgarten and Jericho.
Yeah,
those
man.
guys, yeah.
Those dudes are dope. They taught us everything. One of the first things when we got the rifle, he was like, unless you want to destroy something, don't point at it. Because when you point at it, you have to be willing to destroy it, even with blanks. And he put a water bottle in front of us. Not in front of us, but just like in front of us. And he pointed the rifle, and shot it with a blank. And then the water bottle, just little water just came out of everywhere, just started squirting out everywhere. And these are blanks. So the force and the pressure of that can still hurt you, can harm you. And I was like, whoa, okay, safety on.
I mean, yeah, and then acting with that intensity. I mean, how'd you guys bond on set? Did you bond with Noel a little bit? Who were the guys you were hanging out with?
Yeah, like my platoon, Jeremy Sisto, he plays Milton Berger.
So great, yeah.
Man, Jeremy's a great guy. Ian, Quinlan, Jorge Diaz, and Noel Fisher. We're in the same Rescue 3 group. And when you watch the episodes like from last week and on, it's a lot of us rescuing them, but now we're stranded too. So it's crazy. But we all lived on base. We all had our own houses, but we all lived in the same neighborhood. And we had like these 2-bedroom houses, and we were the only ones in there. And I'm just looking around like, oh, it's empty in here. So we would all just be at each other's houses playing Catan, just playing games and bonding. And it was a great thing because it really wasn't anything to do in Texas, in Fort Hood, but, work and then hang out with each other and barbecue. So we really got like a really good bro bond. Like I'm gonna hang out with Ian and all them tomorrow probably because they're out here in New York too. So yeah, it was real cool to translate that on film because we were all brothers. Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, talking about a completely different project. I mean, working with Chris Rock on a new movie, right? You guys just wrapped that here in Long Island. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's called The Week Of, and I play Chris Rock's son.
That's the dream right there, right?
Yeah, he's my daddy. and Adam Sandler, I marry Adam Sandler's daughter. So it's called The Week Of. It starts from Monday. And all the way to Saturday to the wedding. So basically, it's all the craziness that ensues with our families coming together to meet for the first time. And it's pretty wild. We all got that crazy someone or person in our family, so it's just cool to see that. And Adam is amazing. I grew up watching Adam. Adam was like one of my idols, and he made it okay for me to be weird. Like my mama used to be like, man, if these girls would see you acting like this at home, making all these voices, then they wouldn't like you. And I'm like, oh. And then when Adam came out with Billy Madison, I'm like, oh, it's okay to be like this. So I go school and be the class clown, and no one can make fun of me because I'm like, look, Adam do it. He's funny. He get the ladies and you know all that, so I can do it too.
He's got it all going down for him. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, was it hard for you to keep a straight face when you're around these guys? You hear both of their voices and you just want to crack up, right? Even when they're just talking.
Nah, yeah, it was a fun set. Like in between texts, it was always jokes being cracked. But one person that I like was surprised by was Steve Buscemi. So Steve Buscemi's in it as well, Rachel Dratch. But Steve was like, he would get in on the jokes and then he would go away and he'd read an actual newspaper. I haven't seen that in a long time. And he would read
Unfolding a newspaper.
He would read a newspaper. Everybody was having fun on set, and then he'll go in and then do his take, and it would be so funny, so genuine, so honest, so true. Just like even like a one line, like he'd be like, "Really?" He'll just look at, and you'd be like, you know. But
It was making you break more often.
Yeah. He's just so professional and so great. Like, even on just one take, one line, whatever it needs to be, it was just like he added what it needed to be added. Like, it's so much more depth to it. And I was like, dang, man. He's great.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see that next year. I think we have some questions in the audience, so we're going to start right there.
So you have a favorite rapper, who's my favorite rapper, Tupac.
Oh.
And you posted about him saying that, he marked the world with his words. Are you trying to get into activism, and what would you want to be remembered as an actor and through your work?
Wow, that's a great question. You knew I love Tupac, so I love you too. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Tupac was unapologetic. He was him. He was real. I think that being transparent is what makes people agree with you, or at least hear you. As an actor, I always wanted... I like to act, it's fun, but I feel like I never had a voice. No one would listen to me. And I feel like having a platform, now people can listen. And I think that's what I want to have. I just want to live, I want to be a representation of my life, basically. I don't want to preach or do anything I'm not a preacher or anything like that. I'm not perfect, but I think my life can inspire others that, you can do anything. You can have a dream. You can have it all. Just love each other. We all in the same boat. We all trying. We all striving. Yeah, and be brave to stand up when you need to stand up for something that's right. I definitely will. The dollar don't run me, basically. And that's how Tupac was. The dollar don't run me, I run it, Yeah.
There we go. Round of applause. Absolutely. It's a great quote. Okay, next question.
Hi. So you said acting is a job you can't get lazy with.
Right.
Was it struggle in the beginning? Do you feel like now that you have these shows under your belt that it's a little bit easier now to get more work, or pick what types of jobs or roles that you want?
Yeah, I don't think it's easier. I think it just switches. It's always gonna be tough. You're always gonna be tired. You might as well be tired doing something that you love. I think now I'm just getting into better rooms. I think once one person says yes to you, now everybody want to say yes. But that doesn't mean that you can't. That doesn't mean that you can't. You're not supposed to bring your A game. Like, I still got to show up and I got to do what I need to do. I'm learning every day, so I feel like I'm getting better, and I feel like I'm getting in better rooms. So hopefully that'll continue. But it's not getting easier. The workload is getting more, but I think it's coming at the right point in time to where I'm able to capitalize on each opportunity. So if I was to get that before, it might not have been the best, that what I could do at that point. But tomorrow, I'll be better. So whatever I get tomorrow is going to be better than me getting it today, basically.
Great answer. One last question.
Hey, if Chicago Med can do a crossover with another medical drama, which one would you choose?
None of them. I don't watch them.
What shows? What are you talking about?
Yeah, what other medical dramas? I ain't never heard of no other medical dramas.
How about just another show that you'd like to intersect?
Okay. New Girl.
It's a great answer. That's a great comedy.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
the
Or
more
how
and
about
more, that's
Long
my
Road
buddy.
Home? There you go. You
Yeah,
treat some of the guys.
the long road home. Yeah, let me go and treat them, and then let me grow my mustache back out real quick.
was gonna
so
say,
that
I didn't
can
wanna
play
say my
myself,
mustache looks
treating
great.
myself at the same time. Boom, 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 boom. That'd be great.
I love it, guys. Well, both his shows are airing right now. NBC is where Chicago Med is, and then National Geographic for the Long Road Home, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then next year, the week of, check out for it.
The week of Netflix. Yeah.
Another round of applause, guys. Roland Buck III.
Thanks, man.